At defensive back from Chapley, Maine, number 24, Austin Scribner. At defensive back from Washington, Missouri, number 37, Cohen Zeltman. At defensive back from Peoria, Illinois, number 13, Darren Dussett. And at defensive back from Dover, Foxcroft, Maine, number 26, Jackson Smith. Please give a warm welcome to Coach Struthers and Team Honor. Across the gridiron will be today's home team, Freedom. They are led by head coach David Denham of University of Indianapolis. At offensive line from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 66, Matthew Jennings. At offensive lines from Foxborough, Massachusetts, number 59, Jackson Chandler. At offensive line from North Providence, Rhode Island, number 58, Alexander Sermos. At offensive line from Buckhannon, West Virginia, number 60, Joel Hirschman. At offensive line from Worcester, Massachusetts, number 58, Aiden Morrow. At wide receiver from Denver, Colorado, number 14, Erin Banks. At wide receiver from Avon, Indiana, number 8, Aiden Chavez. At wide receiver from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 4, Logan McElvey. At tight end from Bloomington, Indiana, number 18, Tyson Smith. At running back from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, number 20, Jamoki Lowe. And at quarterback from Algonquin, Illinois, number 2, Sam Delagio. Let's welcome Coach Denham and Team Freedom. Today's officiating crew is led by referee Chris Loudermilk. Joining him today is umpire Brian Friends, head linesman Brian Sponseller, line judge Tim Costello, and back judge Andrew Zink. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. At this time, we'd like to have a moment of silence in remembrance of former U.S. national team athlete Jalen McKenzie, who tragically lost his life to gun violence last May. Jalen played in Classic last year and left an unforgettable impression on the U.S. national team program and the entire country. Rest in peace, Jalen. Thank you. Bearing the flag for Team Honor is number 66, Jackson Campies from Howell, New Jersey. And bearing the flag for Team Freedom is number 21, Jeremiah McClellan from St. Charles, Missouri. In the midfield for today's coin toss. The captains representing Team Honor are number 12, Dominic Beloso, number 5, Porter Road, number 94, Patrick Conserve Jr., number 95, Cameron Chibara. Captains representing Freedom are number 57, Adam Casantis, number 26, Will Rosenmeyer, 14, Erin Banks, and number 20, Timoki Lowe. And tossing the coin is referee Chris Loudermilk.
On a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Northeast Ohio, we welcome you to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium on the grounds of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is Game 2 of 3 that we will bring you today for USA Football's 2019 Middle School Bowl Series. Game 1 was won by Team Courage 30-16 over Team Valor. And now we bring you a U14 matchup between Team Honor and Team Freedom. You see the two teams meeting at midfield right now. Team Honor will wear the red uniforms and Team Freedom will be in the blue in this second game. Lucas Moore stands beside me. I'm Ryan Boyd, and we are thrilled to have you along for the ride. Lucas, game number 1 was a thriller, as we now also see starting lineups in today's contest. Freedom will be on offense first, and the opposite, of course, Honor will be on the defensive side. But we had some exciting moments in game number 1. We expect more of the same here from some of the top middle school players in the country.
Yeah, bottom line is kids at this age are a little better at offense than they are at defense. And right now, a lot of these kids are really, really good athletes offensively. And we've seen some really incredible play from the skill position players. A big look, you're taking a look at the Freedom offensive line. How are they going to play against the defensive line of Team Honor? That was a huge matchup we saw in our first game, was the trench play. Always so important in the sport of football, and it remains important in this one.
Yeah, and now you see the defensive set for Honor in game 1. Like Lucas said, the defensive line dominated. The linebacker play was good as well. Here are the linebackers for Team Honor. We'll see the defensive backs momentarily for them. Coaching in today's game for Team Freedom, the head coach is David Denham. He's from the University of Indianapolis, and for Team Honor, it'll be Ryan Struthers, who is at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, As we jump straight into the action, and it is Honor with the football, and the first play of the game is going to be almost an interception. They tried a crossing pattern over the middle, and the pass overshot Santiago Quinceño and almost intercepted. That would have been a wild start to this one.
It's one of those things. First play of the game. If that happens on the third or fourth play, you get the blood pumping, that might be an interception, but you're almost not ready as a safety for the first play of the game to hit you right in the chest.
So here we go, 2nd down and 10, first possession of this game, and it's a run up the middle, a great run there. Number 5, Porter Road had the football from Westfield, Indiana, and he rumbles forward for 6 yards.
Road, a player to watch today. He won the running back MVP at the Indianapolis Regional as a 7th grader. They included high schoolers in that voting. He's a really talented guy, and I'd love to see what he can do out of the backfield. We've already seen some great running backs today.
He was very smooth on that run, to say the least. Jasir Ratliff, by the way, is the starting quarterback for Honor, as there's a flag that flies before the snap. It's going to be an offside penalty against Team Freedom, so that's going to be, I would suspect, enough for a first down here for Team Honor. Penalties are something we do expect at this level, and because these kids have not played all that much together, of course, they've had the last couple of days to practice and scheme and those types of things.
Yeah, 5 days of practice, 2 practices a day. I'm sure some film study in there, but that's still not nearly enough time to truly install an offense and perfect it, especially with kids at this age.
So Ratliff has the football looking to throw, and this one is going to be intercepted. A diving interception is made by Team Freedom, and that was number 34, I believe. It was Bryson Dirks that got the football. Sorry, our roster has him listed as 37, but it was 34 Bryson Dirks that picked off that football, and a big swing of momentum early in this one.
A little bit of a slip from the wide receiver, Sacred Baylor there, and might have got a little push near the line, but it's within 5 yards, so it was completely illegal. But that's a heads-up play from the corner. It's so tough when you're playing that off-zone coverage. You try to keep your eyes off. When that ball gets tipped, you got to react and make a play, and that's exactly what they did. Now on the front foot, Team Freedom.
So we'll see their offense take the field, and as we've seen for most of this day, the shotgun set. A lot of receivers all over the field, tons of skill players in this game, and here's a handoff left side, and the defense does a pretty good job of stringing out the ball carrier. That's Jamoki Lowe for a gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're pretty high on Lowe because this is the 2nd year he'll be at the middle school bowl game. He's been dazzling. He cuts, sees creases well. A borderline elite level running back. They think this guy's going to be a high Division I level guy. He can really run.
We're also excited to watch the quarterback position for this team. The starter is Sam Dilisio. Scouts are really high on him. I'll tell you something cool about him in a moment, as there's another run, and Lowe has another good pickup. He gets across the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and very short for Team Freedom. We talked in the pregame before we came on air about Dilisio. A scout said that they would go to they would follow him into battle on any given day.
Yeah, an adult scout said that about
That's right.
a 14U player. So that when you're like that, when you have that type of leadership ability, that's significant at that type of an early age. And you hope it's something that he maintains as he grows up. Sometimes, those well-behaved kids when you were 12 and 13, they aren't the well-behaved kids when you're 18. and that's what the sport of football really does, is it keeps guys in this structure, in this organization, to continue that maturity and continue that leadership ability.
So trips right here on 3rd down and short, and Delisio's going to look to throw, and he's got a man open. A catch is going to be made, and there's a lot of yards after the catch, maybe more than that, to the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Erin Banks caught that football, made a nice move initially, and then went down the sideline, and we have ourselves a touchdown. It's 6-0 in favor of Team Freedom.
Credit Dilisio there in his arm strength. When you're rolling out to the right, when you're on the run, it's hard to throw the ball hard, and that's exactly what you saw him do here. You see the defensive back, think this is going to come out soft, try to jump the route. Came out a little harder than he thought it would. Arm strength is what won Dilisio that play. Arm strength is what puts Freedom up front.
So extra point attempt comes next. And the kick is up, and it is good. So 7-0 the score in favor of Team Freedom. And that kicker, by the way, was Parker Friedman from Louisville, Kentucky. Makes it 7-0. USA Football is a member of the U.S. Olympic Committee, offers athletes premier skill building and competitive platforms to represent the United States in our favorite sport. Athletes in grades 6 to 11 can get started at one of 18 U.S. national team regionals held nationwide this spring and summer. Top performers earn U.S. national team roster invitations to face the world's best competition. Play for it at the under 16 to under 19 levels. Visit usafootball.com for more. That's usafootball.com, as it'll be Team Honor now that tries to respond to the quick score. And they have a nice pickup on first down.
Yeah, great job by McThenia, the quarterback, getting out into space to the right side, picking up some positive yardage. And we saw teams get behind the chains in that first game. You do not want to be behind the chains. It's just not a good rule of thumb at any level of football, especially when your quarterbacks aren't as strong or as athletic or can throw as far. And here's a penalty to possibly get behind the chains. No, they'll say it's on the defense.
Yeah, defensive offside. By the way, we'll see a lot of this today, a lot of shifting of players to different positions in and out of the ball game, and there is a new quarterback into the game for Team Honor. Cale McThenia is now calling the shots from Wonder Lake, Illinois. Ratliff, the quarterback before from Georgia, as there's a handoff in the defensive front, blows this one up. It's going to be a loss of yardage, a big loss, in fact. It'll be second down and close to, well, they keep backing it up even more, maybe 11 or 12 yards here upcoming on second down.
Yeah, Maddox Duncan, the ball carrier, he's about agility and lateral movement. Well, you don't really have much opportunity to be agile and really quick laterally if you're surrounded by 4 defensive linemen in the backfield. He needs a little bit of blocking up front to open up some creases.
Second down and long means pass, and there's a throw that is well behind the intended receiver. That was Ty Canistraro, who was running towards the near sideline, and it's incomplete, so it's third down and long.
Third down and long. It's tough. Ball's been coming weird out of the hands of the Honor quarterbacks. They've already had an interception that led to a touchdown. And the ball just came out weird for McThenia on the last one. Your nerves get in. It's sweaty, too, outside. It's hot, which causes it to be sweaty, and they make it hard to grip the football.
He'll look to throw again here. He gets drilled as he releases it, and it's going to be incomplete. Double coverage out there as he was looking for Zane Zabitsky. And Zabitsky, unfortunately, could not get to that one, so it's fourth down, and Team Honor is going to have to punt the football. By the way, for anyone that missed the first game today, there is an alteration to the kicking game in this. Number one, there is no rushing on any of the different kicks that are made, a punt or an extra point, a field goal, etc. There are also no returns that will be made. So it's a free lane to kick, as you can see here, and then wherever the ball is fielded is where the possession will begin. So there you have it. Team Freedom will have the football.
And this really could be a look at the future of high school football. I mean, it's honestly, when it comes to safety and the more studies they do about the effects of football, it might be one of those things where special teams becomes a thing that's only done in special circumstances, like at the college or pro football level.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see. I know college coaches desperately don't want that to happen because they already feel like they have underprepared special teams players in coming in their freshman year. So if you took that away from the high school level, they would feel even less prepared. But I like the no-kick thing. I think it keeps the game moving pretty quickly.
First down play here, and there's a catch and a nice move. Far side, it's going to be a big pickup. First down yardage, and finally a stop is made after Jeremiah McClellan got the football, made a man miss, and went upfield across midfield.
A lot of running is how quickly can you stop, which is crazy that to be an effective runner or an effective catcher, an effective route runner, where it's all about speed, the most crucial skill is how quickly you can stop. And Jeremiah McClellan, catch, tap, tap, stop, defender goes by, get up the field and get a first down.
Already leading 7-0 is Team Freedom. Their first drive was basically perfect, and they're trying to match that here. Snap taken, and it's going to be a run to the right side. Another good move But then a good open field tackle. No, he stays on his feet. Here he goes, back the other direction. A big-time block, and he may go the distance to the 30. 25, 20, one man to beat, and he's going to be pulled out of bounds around the 10-yard line. That was a tremendous individual effort initially, and then some great blocking on the back end as well. There are no flags on the field, and Team Freedom is again in business.
It's the small little fundamentals like tackling that Eric Johnson takes advantage of. Not really any great form here. Great blocking there on the back end. You see that clear out block that opened up all this space for Eric Johnson to run, but guys aren't wrapping up. They aren't taking the legs correctly. It's hot. You can get a little lazy on defense. And again, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, kids are better at offense than they are defense right now, and you can see it in plays just like that.
Shotgun set again on 1st down and 10. It's not 1st and goal, as the ball is going to be fumbled on the transaction there. The ball was dropped onto the turf, but the quarterback, Sam Dilisio, jumps back on top of it. It'll be a big loss. 2nd down upcoming.
Yeah, as soon as I say that, the whole entire defensive line breaks free. You wonder if there was something planned moving to the outside. Wasn't great blocking up front. That was 5 red jerseys in the backfield before you could say the word go.
We're about midway through the first quarter here. And the home team, for whatever that's worth, it's one team has to be home, one has to be away. The home team, Team Freedom, up 7-0 and driving, but in some trouble here. 2nd down and long. Dilisio with the football. Rolls right. Tries to throw that way as well, and it's just out of the reach of his intended target. That was Cameron Cornthwaite who was going for that football. It'll be 3rd and long.
Boy, he can throw on the run. I mean, that is the number one skill that you notice from Dilisio right off the page, is he's got a great ability to keep his eyes downfield, turn his hips, and make really accurate, powerful throws to the wide sides of the field on the run. That's a skill that a scout immediately checks a box that you're looking for, especially with the way the college game is moving with more speed, more motion, more fluidity at the quarterback position.
So what do they go to here? 3rd and very long, and also in an awkward spot because they're so close to the end zone. They'll look to throw. Quick throw is going to be caught left side. Going to have to make a lot of guys miss to get in the end zone here or to get a 1st down, and they won't get quite that far. It's going to be 4th down and decision time here for Team Freedom.
Well, if you're confident in your field goal kicker, I take it here. You're in an awkward position, 9 yards out. You can go up 2 scores if you kick the field goal. And I believe that's what they're going to do. And especially with no threat of it being blocked, it makes it a really easy decision for a coach to make. And these kickers are here to learn too. So give them an opportunity to make a field goal in a big stadium and put your team up 2 possessions.
So Friedman will kick again. By the way, Friedman is kicking for both teams. Same thing was true in game number 1. So you may see that blue jersey kicking for red at some point. That is by design. But for now, he'll kick for blue for Team Freedom. Snap is back, and the kick is up, and it is good. So he buries one from, let's see, about
25.
25 yards out. 10-0 now. Team Freedom leads.
Yeah, great job by Freedom, 2-possession lead. And if you got a 2-possession lead in the first quarter, you're feeling pretty good. And really the difference between these two teams, Ryan, has been quarterback play early. The quarterbacks for Team Honor have struggled. Meanwhile, Dilisio has been fantastic, moving on the run to the right. He's the reason for the 1 touchdown. He's handed the ball off well. He's made good reads, and he hasn't made any major mistakes. Right now, quarterback play is what's given Freedom a 10-point lead.
Well, Honor will have another opportunity to respond here. And they've gone back to Ratliff at quarterback. 2nd possession for him. Lines up with a fully loaded gun, and he's going to give the football off onto the right side, and another big hole opens up. That's Rode with the football, and he is going to have a 1st down for Team Honor.
Rode, a guy that I want to see get the ball a lot. He's very talented. When you're winning MVP as a 7th grader at a high school camp, that's special. I mean, that's just special. And there's guys all across these contests, Ryan, and you and I got really excited about it on the drive up, about how just talented some of these guys are.
Yep. Another handoff here, and this play is not going to go quite as well as the one before it, but still a tremendous effort from Rode. He almost fell down, Lucas, but he somehow kept himself up and got positive yardage, a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know, I know that was 2 yards, but that might be the most impressive run we'll see today in terms of degree of difficulty, because Rode halfway through that run, was completely off balance, was about to fall on his face, somehow regained his balance, readjust, and exploded up the sideline for some more yardage.
And they'll give it to him again. Flag comes flying, but it's going to be a big pickup. We'll see if it stands. And Rode gets up and flexes that arm in the direction of a first down, but it is a holding penalty against Team Honor, so this one is coming back, and down 10 points, that's a tough one to swallow.
Unnecessary hold, too, because Rode already had gotten by that initial rush from the line, and that holding penalty came on the backside of the line. So that means that was somebody who the play was called not near your hole assignment. The guy got by, and you got a little too aggressive and grabbed his jersey. It's unnecessary. If they're running to the other side of the line, try not to get a hold, especially when you got a great running back in the backfield who can make guys miss.
So now it's trouble. It's second down and a mile. Ball all the way back to the 23-yard line.
And it's getting behind the sticks that's really hurt Honor in this game. I mean, they're way behind again.
Ratliff in the gun again. This snap is low. It's going to be picked up, and they're going to try to make something out of nothing, and they may have something here. Far side, pretty big pickup. Stepping out of bounds, though, was Elijah Stevens, a running back from Missouri, and truly making something out of nothing, and now a slightly more manageable third down.
Yeah, that's a great play from Elijah Stevens. That's instinct. That's knowing when things go wrong what to do. He just looked up, made sure there were no defenders coming quickly, and decided to get some yardage out.
And he actually did step out of bounds a little bit earlier than it appeared from our vantage point, so still very long here. Third and about 16 for Team Honor. They've got 4 receivers in this set. Let's see what Ratliff can do. He's got some time, makes a nice throw over the middle, catch is made, and this is going to be first down yardage. Tremendous move with the football, and finally pulled down is Santiago Quisenio, and it is a first down for Team Honor.
Yeah, someone's just got to make a hit. I mean, you've got 4 blue jerseys surrounding him near the sideline, and it really just felt like a bunch of guys who weren't ready to make a tackle. And he uses that at this level, with this speed and this athleticism, in terms of the offensive talent, you can't be standing like this with 3 guys. Someone make a hit. Someone's just got to make a hit at that situation, or else he's going to gain an extra 10, 15 yards.
So that's Quasino, who continues to be involved in the offense for Honor. Ratliff to throw again. Outside, pass is going to be caught. Guess who? It's Quasino, and he's very shifty again, diving forward across the 30-yard line, and that is going to be enough for another first down for Team Honor.
Isaiah Nelson, the one to credit on that tackle. He had that one arm up, got the knee pad, and dragged him down. Sometimes it's all it takes.
Timeout is going to be called now by Team Freedom with 1:33 left in quarter number 1. They lead 10-0 over Team Honor, but Honor is on the move here. By the way, fans, 21st Century Football is here. Built by USA Football, the football development model is a framework for fun and fitness through America's favorite sport. Open to every youth and scholastic program. Sign up to discover football's future at usafootball.com/FDM. That's usafootball.com/FDM.
Honor, they're way more in this game than the 10 points suggest. They've just had a couple unfortunate plays go against them, and the quarterbacks for Honor didn't come out fully ready to throw the football. They made a couple throwing mistakes early, an interception, a bad incomplete pass, a bad decision on another throw. But they're right there. They've got a lot of talent in the running back position. That's what seems like the best core for Honor. There's some really, really talented runners, including Porter Road. We just saw Elijah Stevens carry the football. Maddox Duncan is another great running back. On this depth chart, they're carrying 3 running backs per team for USA Football. And the reason you limit the running backs is because in terms of athleticism, it is the most chock-full position in all of youth football.
No doubt. First down, and it's going to be a keeper this time for Ratliff, and nobody was fooled by that one. He faked a handoff and then was swallowed up by 4 or 5 blue jerseys. It'll be second down and long.
Ratliff with the carry. Brought down by Coakley.
Time running down on quarter number 1. as the sun is finally being blocked by some clouds. That'll help with the heat down there as there's a deep throw down the sideline. A tremendous catch is made, but out of bounds. That was Sacred Baylor, a wide receiver from North Carolina, making a phenomenal catch. Just couldn't get that 1 foot down.
That's a solid throw. It's a tough throw to make. On that sideline with this high safety coming over, you got to fit it in that window. Brett Favre used to call that the turkey hole. You try to fit it in there, and sometimes it's tough. Now that one, we get another look at it. The safety was playing way back, so it was not as difficult as a throw as it first appeared, but you got to try to lead him towards that pylon, not towards that sideline.
So 3rd and long, high snap, another deep throw. This is into double coverage, and it's still almost completed. Same target. Baylor could not come down with it. Another good effort. It's going to be 4th and long. And
defensively there for Freedom, that's kind of, hey, we haven't played all that much together. Cornerback thinking he had more safety help than he did, kind of let him go by to sit in the middle of that zone. And instead, it was nearly a walk-in touchdown with no help on the backside.
So kind of in a tough spot here in plus territory, but it's 4th down and long, so they will go for it. Honor will. Here's Ratliff. He's got some time. He will scramble. He'll throw and complete, and it's going to be close. They are currently marking him a little bit short. That was, again, Crescenio who got that football, but I believe it is going to be short, Lucas, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
And just as soon as you think Honor had a little bit of momentum going back in their direction, you try a couple deep shots to the end zone. That's an aggressive call. That is an aggressive call from Luke Barker, who's the offensive coordinator of this Honor squad. He coaches at IUPUI, the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. And he got a little aggressive there. I'm not sure if I would have done that with the talented running back core you had. You take 2 shots to the end zone, same possession. You nearly pick up the 1st down on 4th. I would just pound the ball and then let your quarterback pick out some throws, use that athleticism outside. But, hey, take 2 shots. If they catch a touchdown there, I'm not saying anything.
You mentioned coaching, by the way, and we'll talk more about this as the game progresses, but some really wonderful coaching staffs across the 3 games today. In game 1, we saw some professional coaches from the Cincinnati Bengals. In this one, we've got an assortment of colleges that are represented as there's a run to the left side and a tackle made immediately. Good defensive pressure there from Honor. But, Lucas, to finish my thought, we have, just to name a few, we've got Kentucky Wesleyan, University of Indianapolis, Notre Dame College, Howard University, Bryant University. The list goes on and on. Just tons of college-level coaching to help these young men.
And those might not be big names to audience members at home in terms of who's playing on football in Division I, but those are high-level college football programs in the NCAA that give away scholarships, and you can get a degree, play football. Those are high-level programs and high-level coaches as well.
Well, that'll do it for quarter number 1. So far on the scoreboard, it's all Freedom. They lead Team Honor 10-0. We'll grab a short break, and then we'll be back for quarter number 2. You're watching USA Football on Facebook Live.
We believe in developing football players in a way that makes sense for both their physical and mental development. By providing multiple entry points and options, we can ensure that each person who wants to play can start and succeed in a way that's developmentally appropriate for them. Because we believe everyone should experience the fun and enjoyment of America's game. Together, we are creating the future of football. Join us at usafootball.com/FDM.
As USA Football's official partner, Collegiate Sports Data is proud to provide football players and parents with recruiting education materials and opportunities to connect with the right colleges. Visit collegiatesportsdata.com and sign up to receive recruiting education materials and get connected with the right colleges. Every day, Field Turf pushes the boundaries of research and innovation to engineer the most advanced and safest artificial turf systems in the industry. Field Turf is a proud partner of USA Football and is dedicated to help grow the sport of football across the world.
And we are back for quarter number 2 and game 2 of our 3-game schedule today, as there's a run to the left side. And again, the defensive front for Team Honor was there to make a play. It's Team Freedom leading 10-0. My partner Lucas Moore has now stepped aside, and I'm happy to have Al Pops with me and of course with USA Football, and middle school manager is one way to describe what you do, but you do so much for USA Football, and we were talking before about kind of player personnel management, and I mean, you get to know these kids. It's a pretty cool job that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting to know these kids and what they're like off the field is almost more fun than, oh, man, he can throw a great 10-yard out. But knowing that he is the funniest kid on the team, that's the stuff I love knowing.
So Pops will join us for the entirety of this second quarter, which is awesome, as there's a deep throw down the field, and the catch is going to be made. How about that one across the 40-yard line before Erin Banks went down? That's a first down for Team Freedom.
That's just another example of what Banks can do. We saw in the first quarter that touchdown that he scored, and then another great reception right there. Body control, high pointing the ball, that's all stuff that he's picked up, some naturally, but a lot of this great coaching all week too.
So a touchdown and now a big gain for him. And you can take a look at the replay on your screen right now. Look at the elevation to get this football. That is an amazing play.
That's a great job, keeping the receiver close with his offhand. Excellent work.
Now a handoff and a lot of room to run. This is Lowe, and Lowe has a first down before he is toppled over near the 20-yard line, so Freedom on the march again. So talk me through some of this, you know, and for folks that listen to the first broadcast, they may have heard portions of this, but the recruitment process, you know, and getting all of the young men that you do to come out and be, you know, showcased in the different regional markets, and then ultimately those that are selected. Talk me through some of that process.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 18 regionals throughout the spring where we go to different cities around the country and look for these great fumbles there. As we look for these great athletes, you know, we have 2-day non-contact camps where we bring in college coaches from, you know, relatively near that market. We have a Saturday and a Sunday session, and we put the kids through all types of work where they're learning their position skills and drills. They're doing 7-on-7, 11-on-11. They're getting a full gamut of football work in one weekend, and we evaluate them to see, you know, where are their strengths, where are their weaknesses, can they play at this next level at the middle school bowl or even into international bowl.
There was an injury on that play, and that was 58 Caleb Arthur Bryant from Team Honor, but luckily he makes his way off the field on his own, and he looks, I hope, to be okay. And we'll quickly get back into the action here. So during the course of that process, obviously you get the chance to, you know, get to know these kids and work with them. I know you said before, you know, getting to know them off the field, and I asked you actually before. You know, but before we even started today, I said to you, do these kids, you know, these under 14 kids, do they realize the ramifications, you know, of what they're doing, playing at this high of a level? And I loved your response. We'll get it after this play here. Is rolling to the far side, and then another ball is thrown up. This is a jump ball, and did he get it again? Oh my goodness, wow. Banks again. Well, they say he caught it, but. Coming out of the pile with the football was actually Austin Scribner. But I guess they're going to give it to Banks. That was a great battle either way. Here's a replay of it.
That's incredible.
Wow. So Banks, first down yardage, first down and goal. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Team Honor. It gives me a chance to let you take the floor. I thought it was so fascinating, though, this idea that, you know, that this is a huge opportunity for these kids. And I asked you if they think about that, and you kind of said they're out here to have some fun.
That's it. You know, the first game and some of the athletes in the second game, I don't think they fully comprehend just how cool this is because they're just out there having fun. You know,
right.
It's not because they're not having a great time. It's because they're playing a game of football. They're out there playing a game with kids they don't know, kids they're becoming friends with, and they're just out there having a good time, man. You know, during the end of this practice week, you know, it was long and hot out here in eastern Ohio. You know, at one point we had the kicker or the coaches punting balls in the air and having the linemen catch it. You know, they're not learning X's and O's at that point. They're just having a good time. You know, they're busting on each other for dropping it. Some of the coaches had to do up-downs for losing some challenges. I mean, it's all about fun here, man. That's what it is.
There was something else you talked about during our first broadcast that I wanted to rehash as well. the idea that they have fun now and they build these relationships and friendships, and then you spoke a lot earlier to the idea that it does become a family environment that carries through beyond just this 4 or 5 day period.
That's absolutely what it is. We gave all our NFL guys.
Here's a run up the middle, by the way. It's a nice stop by the defensive front.
We gave all our NFL draft picks this year a shirt that says family across the chest. All our staff here wears it because that's what we really are. This isn't a 1 week event in the summertime and we don't want to see you again. We don't care. Thanks. It's not that. We follow you back home. We want to know how you're doing in school. We want you to come back to the regionals next year as well.
That's Pops with me right now. Works for USA Football. Does an awesome job working with all these kids, as there's another nice defensive play in on that one. Looks like it was 94 that made that play for Team Honor. It is Patrick Conserve Jr. that got in there.
Number 21, who just ran the ball, McClellan. Here's an interesting story. He came to our Kansas City Regional, graded out double A's as a wide receiver, came here to play running back and just make the most out of the opportunities that he's given.
See the big tackle there from Conserve Jr.
The other night in the scrimmage, his essentially first time playing running back, had 2 touchdowns.
Fumbled snap, ball is still loose, and now it's going to be picked up, and this is going to turn into a touchdown. Team Freedom has scored again. This time it's Eric Johnson. A little bit of luck as he picked up a fumble and rumbles into the end zone. It's 16-0 for Team Freedom.
So we think about his two plays so far today. One where he reversed field all the way down here, and then picking up the fumble, making something out of nothing down here.
So another extra point will come for Friedman, who's been a busy man. Second extra point opportunity, also kicked a field goal. And the kick is up, and it is good again for Friedman. 17-0. So what about the coaches and obviously the role that they play? I'm always fascinated by the diversity of the coaching staff, right? We had some professional coaches earlier. Now we have an assortment of colleges that are represented. How do you get those guys on board? Not that it's hard to convince them, but how do you get them on board and kind of speak to their role a little bit?
That's a great question. So at our regional camps, we like to keep a 10-to-1 coach-to-player ratio, or player-to-coach ratio. So these coaches all coached with us during our regionals, right? They did a well enough job and graded out well where they got asked to come here.
Okay.
So they had to earn it themselves.
Running play for Team Honor as they try and get themselves back into this one. It's a short run. Second down upcoming.
Yeah, I'd like to say that nothing is given here. It's all
right.
Earned. Players earn it, coaches earn it, staff earns the right to be here from how they work in the office life. You got to earn it to achieve it.
I love it, and all of that, the dividends of that is seen in the types of players that have come out of this, and I'll speak to that in a moment. Some of the big names that all football fans would know. Here's a run left side, and swarming defense again. With it was Porter Road. By the way, before I get to some of those guys, Porter Road is a heck of a ball carrier.
He's incredible, man. Westfield, Indiana. He went to the Indianapolis Regional, which we held at the Colts practice facility. As a 7th grader, run the running back MVP award, beating out other middle schoolers and all the high schoolers. He was the best running back we had there in Indianapolis.
It's incredible. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 here for Team Honor. They'll look to throw. Quick throw is going to be caught. Broken tackle and first down yardage. So Team Honor will keep their possession alive. That was McThenia who connected with his wide receiver. I believe that was Canestraro that got that football. It'll be first down for Team Honor.
They have a nice little rapport going so far.
Yeah. So just circling back, we're talking about the quality of guys that coach, the quality of kids that come out and play at this, and then what they turn into, often many of them. And I'll tell you after this pass play, as McThenia is going to have one go incomplete. So just this year, Pops, you look at the types of guys. You had 6 future NFLers that were drafted in the first 60 picks. All 6 of them also played at this level for USA Football.
It's unbelievable. And out of those guys, N'Keal Harry, who got drafted by the Patriots with the first pick, or the last pick in the first round, started with us at 10 years old.
Wow.
Did NFL flag, did the regionals, played at International Bowl. So 10 years old, we've seen N'Keal Harry turn into what he is today.
Second down, pass is going to be thrown, and it is just short of the intended target. That was Christopher Banks, who he was trying to connect with. So it'll be third down for Team Honor. And then you can go even further than that. You know, the 6 guys from this year is pretty awesome to begin with. But then you think about some of the guys that have already established themselves in the NFL. It's just a couple. Todd Gurley, Jameis Winston, Stephon Tuitt. Man, the list goes on and on. It's just, I mean, those are major, major NFL football players.
Yep, Malcolm Brown, who won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. I mean, we have Super Bowl champions who laced up the cleats at 6th, 7th, 8th grade with USA football.
Big third down play here for Team Honor. They trail 17-0 midway through quarter number 2. 4 wide receivers in this set. Under immediate pressure is Methenia, and he's going to throw on the move, and it is incomplete as he is hit while he throws. And Team Freedom, the defense, stands tall again. It'll be punting time, I'm sure, for Team Honor.
Intended for Baylor.
What about the quarterback position? You know, we talk a lot, at least Lucas and I were talking in the first quarter about, you know, the importance of the quarterback position for any team. But at this level, you know, it's fascinating. We saw it in game 1 and now here in game 2. The maturity level those kids have to lead an offense the way they do.
They're the general, man. They're the field general. In this game, in our final game of the day, we only took 2 quarterbacks. And if you look back at the regional numbers, quarterback was the most tried out for position out of all middle schoolers. And to think that we took 4 per game, 2 per team for this one and our final game of the day, you had to beat out some excellent competition from around the country.
And now as Team Freedom gets the football back, one of those quarterbacks is Sam Dilisio, and he may or may not be the quarterback on this drive. He just quarterbacked the last, but I wanted to bring him up because I know you know him, and we found it so fascinating that a scout said they would follow him into battle any day. Speak to the quality of kid he must be.
I mean, just getting to know this kid, yes sir, no sir, looks you in your eye, mature beyond years. There's no wonder the scouts said they would follow him into battle. That's the ultimate compliment.
Really is. There's a flag on the play here on 1st down and 10. And it looks like this is going to be moving against the defense. So it'll be a 5-yarder, I believe. New quarterback into the game for Freedom, by the way, is Tyson Smith. Actually, I take that back. It's Austin Mack. I'm sorry, my roster here had the numbers confused. So Austin Mack now playing quarterback from California. And that speaks to also just and we had this conversation beforehand that you have games here. You're also going to be in Frisco for some more games next week. But as there's a tremendous defensive play. My goodness, everybody on the defensive line was in to make that stop on low. But these kids, I mean, they quite literally come from all over the country.
Absolutely. You know, when inviting kids here, again, it's an honor. So, you know, we invite geographically a little bit. See, you know, a kid from Rhode Island doesn't have to go all the way down to Texas. They can come out here to Ohio. But as you can see, Austin Mack, perfect example, the talent travels. They want to go different places. They want to see, you know, football players from different parts of the country. It's all about just getting out in the field and doing what you do.
So Mack running the offense now as he pitches it left side. And again, the defense is there. The red-clad Honor with a couple of tremendous stops to start this drive. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
Maybe that's what this team needs, right? Get some nice defensive stands here. Looks like they're flying to the ball a little bit. Maybe they're just waking up a little late here.
Well, and we talked about it in the first quarter, too. They had a drive or two where they moved, you know. It stopped for one reason or another. And like you said, sometimes a stop can get you going. Also, I think maybe some points before the half, that'd be big, too.
Crucial.
Still 3.5 minutes left in this first half, so there will be time for a possession for Honor as long as they can get a stop here on 3rd and about 15. Mack lines his troops up. He's got 3 receivers right and 1 left. A back on his left hip. He has the football. He's under immediate pressure. Throws one deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Double coverage out there, and that is a stop for Team Honor. They're going to get the football after a punt.
I know it was an incomplete pass. I'm aware of that. But if you look at how far he just threw that football, this kid's in 7th grade, and he just threw the football 50 yards.
What do you see as, I'm curious, and we'll talk to you again in the third game, of course, but as you watch these kids at the different levels, we've got the U14 first game, now we've got the U14 second game, it'll be U15 for the third game, as, again, this punt is coming up here for Team Freedom. From a developmental standpoint, what differences do you see, in that 1 year or so, couple years, how different is it?
It's different. Every athlete is different. Every situation is different, right? Just like everybody matures and grows at different times, these kids are no different. A lot of what I see where there is a difference is that 7th into 8th grade level, it starts to get real and it starts to really, really matter to these kids. A lot of those kids will take a loss personal. Whereas the 6th grade, there's some kids who will live and die by it, but again, they're all out here to have fun. It's that 7th grade into 8th grade year and then 8th grade into high school where those losses start to sting really, really bad. And, it means a lot to these kids.
Right. Third game today will be at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And we're really excited about that. We're going to showcase some really talented U15 players in that one as there's a pitch left side. And, again, the defense is there.
It's super cliche, but get your popcorn ready for that oldest game. But it's both starting quarterbacks are over 6'4", and these are kids who haven't even sniffed a high school hallway yet.
Yeah, the most amazing thing that's happened truly since I got here was you showed us some pictures of you on the field with some of those kids in the third game, and they were, not that anybody can see you on our broadcast, but you're a 6 foot or so grown adult male. As there's a throw outside. Beautiful catch made. An even better move is getting across midfield for Team Honored is Baylor. We've seen him already make some acrobatic plays. But to finish my point, the kids you were standing with down on the field for Game 3 were as big, if not bigger than you.
Yeah, I'm not a small guy. I'm 6 foot. But those guys, I was looking up to all 3 of those other kids in the picture I showed you. That's impressive and scary.
Baylor again, catch made, tackled immediately this time. Making the play for Freedom was 34, Bryson Dirks.
Dirks is a kid. He came last year and played at the same event, performed again at a regional, back again this year. There's a handful. I'd say probably about 50% of these kids who have come back from last year. That's
really neat. Out of curiosity, I guess I'll ask you after this play, as Ratliff is looking. He's got a man open. Did he get him? Oh, he just overshot him. That may have been 6 if it had been complete. Instead, it's going to be third down and about 6, maybe 7 here for Team Honor. Just barely missing his target there was Ratliff.
Yeah, he's had a couple that are just another foot. He would have been connected. 2 down near the end zone, and then that one right there as well.
Yep. Now the defense is going to jump offside on this one as long as the offense didn't draw them over, and I don't think they did. Officials will talk it over, though. That's a big penalty, perhaps, if it is on the defense, because it would make it third and very short. The question I was going to ask you, and again, I'm with Pops, who works for USA Football, works with these middle school students and athletes. The guys that are returners, do they try out each year? Is that the way it works? Because you talked earlier about the mentality of always earning it.
Great question. You do always have to earn it. We used to bring athletes back year after year. We've changed that. Kids change month to month, let alone year to year at this age, right? So we want them to come back. We want to see how they progress. Another kid, Ratliff, the quarterback there, number 7, he played in this game last year as a 6th grader. He's back again as a 7th grader. He has grown 4 inches, and he throws a much prettier ball than he did last year. Last year he got by on athleticism. This year he throws a much better ball. He's bigger, he's better, and that's the stuff we love to see.
Yep. Officials are talking again because there may have been another penalty, but I think they're going to wave that flag away. So because of the penalty that was called on Team Freedom, we have a first down. So first down and 10 for Honor, trying to score before halftime. They've got about 90 seconds to do so. Ratliff scrambling, now throwing on the move, and this probably will be pass interference. No flag thrown.
Whoa.
Yeah, Baylor can't believe it, and I actually agree with him on that one. He's still confused as he runs back towards the huddle. These things happen. It's, the officials ultimately have the call, but not sure if we'll get a replay on that one. But it looked like he was dragged down. Am I right on that?
Hey, I don't envy the job of any official anywhere, because either way you make half the people mad.
That's right.
But, man.
Yeah, tough break there for Baylor. It was also Ratliff, who did a nice job getting free, but not on this play, as an interception is thrown, and that again will swing the momentum in this one.
That's another questionable call. Coach Struthers over there on the sideline asking the ref what he was or wasn't looking at.
Pass is intercepted
Yeah.
by Rosenmeyer.
So Rosenmeyer got that football. That's Will Rosenmeyer from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, picking it off, playing in that defensive secondary. And with 1:21 left in the half, Freedom again with possession of the football.
Yeah, I just mentioned Coach Struthers from UMass Dartmouth. He's been with USA Football, coaching at our regionals and now International Bowl, Middle School Bowl for as many years as I've been involved, probably longer. He's a veteran, and we're happy to have him leading these young men.
I wanted to ask you about that international piece as well. For the folks that are listening in and maybe not as familiar, obviously we have the Middle School Bowl Series today, 3 different games we're doing. But for the older football players, as there is a carry up the middle and the defense is there again for team honor, I'll let you speak to it. But the older kids, they do have an opportunity to play on that international scale.
Yeah, International Bowl, we play every January. We've been lucky enough to be at AT&T Stadium there in Dallas. Jerry Jones is nice enough to let us in there for 2 weeks every year. But they play American-style football in 71 different countries around the world. So, we've been blessed to have, Mexico come over, Panama, Japan, the different Canadian provinces have come. This year we've signed on with France. France is going to come play for the first time. So this game of football that we think is an American sport. It's our sport. However, it's played all over the globe, and we welcome those other teams with open arms, and we're excited for International Bowl again this year.
Yeah, I love that. That's really neat. Timeout was called, by the way, by Team Honor. The mentality here being that they could get a quick stop and get the football back with time to do something before halftime. I also want to let folks know listening in that USAFootball.com is home to gain an edge on the field. Be a better coach, player, or football parent at USAFootball.com. The other thing that I love, and I know I'm getting to a higher level here, but I also love that the NFL has made the effort that they have to get international with a game here or there. I think that also speaks to the growth of this sport.
Absolutely. This game is not just in America anymore. Just like we saw the boom of European players in the NBA, get ready for that here in football as well. This game is played all over the world.
Another good stop made by the defense of Honor, and it's going to be 3rd and very long. Only 1 timeout left for Honor, so they're going to let the clock run this time, and then they will almost certainly use that last timeout after they get a stop here, if they do. And then a couple of opportunities to air it out, which, by the way, you and I watched the first game. There was 24 seconds left before halftime, and we saw not 1 but 2 touchdowns scored.
Yeah, do not blink. Do not go get another soda. Stay put, guys.
Down to about 25 seconds now as the clock continues to run.
I mean, the way they've been rolling, I would take shots at this point and see
right.
what you could do.
Flag flies. It's going to be a delay of game against Team Freedom. So with 17 seconds left before halftime, they will have to run a play here on 3rd down and very long. It's now 3rd and about 21 yards. And if you're Team Honor, you're thinking about, of course, number 1, getting the stop, calling that timeout, but then you're thinking you're probably getting pretty good field position if you can get a stop around the line of scrimmage here.
They might just not even snap here as time ticks away.
Oh, you're right. They restart the clock. I forgot about that. So, yeah, they're going to let this clock run down. So it actually works to the advantage of Team Freedom, and they will take their lead into the halftime break. So after 2 quarters of play, it is Team Freedom 17, Team Honor nothing. We'll take a break for 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for quarter number 3. Pops, can't thank you enough for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me up here. I love this game, and these kids out there love it too.
Yeah, we appreciate it. A lot of great insight into all the young men that are playing in this one. All right, friends, we're going to step aside for just a couple of minutes. We'll be back for quarter number 3 in just a couple of moments. You're listening to USA Football. We're live on Facebook Live.
No Team USA out here, bro. Team USA, we out here giving back to our community. You feel me? It's the only way to do it.
I am so grateful to have this group of people here today from USA Football. They're here engaging with our students.
Competition. Everybody's warming up to us. We're having fun. We love the whole group. They love us.
Y'all are our future. And I look around and you guys are going to be off in college, off in careers in just a few years. Maybe some of you are going to play professional football, but you guys are the ones that are going to be in charge of our communities to come. And you guys are the ones that are going to have the opportunity to interact and to hire people that have intellectual disabilities.
I think it's actually helping in a lot of ways. Like, we're working together as a team off the field. We didn't have to talk to everybody and really just grow as a family and through the process, not only on the field, but off the field. It's time to get to the soul. It's a good feeling to know that you're being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Hey guys, thank you very, very much, y'all. I appreciate it.
Simplicity done brilliantly creates greatness. I come from the sport of rugby union. I decided to leave my coaching role and only concentrate on contracts and collision. For me, it was creating a system that can be easily used and understood by the coach.
The system really develops the tackle to a much greater depth than anything that's ever been out before. Traditionally, our tackle practice has focused on the angles of the tackle. But those are often really the best case scenario. We look at some of those worst case scenarios, real tackles we have seen and evaluated on film.
So the fight was made up of 5 individual fights: trap, prepare, connect, accelerate, and finish.
It adds depth, it adds clarity, it adds grading systems, and it allows us to communicate in a common, sharp language.
So coaches at every level will be able to take something out of that system.
So this becomes a universal application to every type of tackle that we teach.
It's one of those things that we're in my 50s and we've been through this. Oh, sorry. I'm in my 50s. I married really young, so 40s.
I mean, I think the most important thing is that you kids play sports for the right reasons.
You know, sports has always been a part of my life. I've got 2 daughters and father, coaching us and just all those things.
Your motto and your athlete's motto should be to treat others as you want to be treated.
It's kind of like just let the coach coach the kids. Just let the coach deal with the officials.
Be the way you want your kids to be.
We can't express how much youth sports help our three kids.
Welcome to USA Football's Virtual Parents Clinic. My husband Mike and I want to share what we've learned both through our own experience and talking to football parents across the United States.
We welcome you back into our broadcast live from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium on this Saturday afternoon in Northeast Ohio. We are in Canton, Ohio, home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Just south of Akron, a little bit further south of Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Cleveland Browns for football fans out there. Lucas Morris to my right, I'm Ryan Boyd, and we are set to bring you quarter number 3 and 4 of our second game today. It is a U14 matchup between Team Honor and Team Freedom, and right now it is Freedom that leads this one 17-0. One more big thanks goes out to Pops. That's Al Pops. We were glad to have him from USA Football up here for quarter 2. He'll be back for our third game. He and Lucas will sit down and talk during quarter 2 of that third game. Great insight, just knowing the guys. Because for us, we were fortunate to be given rosters and things like that in advance. But we're contracted in to do this and do our best to familiarize. Pops actually works with all these kids. It's pretty neat.
It's his day-to-day, Just like, our day-to-day is just random sports throughout Ohio and sports across the country. His day-to-day is these kids, this program, and USA Football. So he's without a doubt an expert on all these players. And, college coaches, those are guys that you want to talk to if you want to learn about these kids, because those guys have been paying attention every day.
So here is the first play of quarter number 3. It's a run to the left side for Lowe. Lowe from Wisconsin, and he gains 2 yards on the first carry of the half. This, Lucas, feels like a really big possession here in this third quarter. If Team Honor wants to get back into this football game, they really need to stop.
Yeah, it's been a lot of weird plays for Honor. It's not a 17-point difference in terms of talent between these two teams. No way. It's just Freedom has consistently executed throughout this entire ball game. And if they can execute on one more drive, they might be able to bury it.
They're looking to go deep on this play, and there's a little bit of miscommunication. The ball falls in between 2 different receivers, as that was Dilisio, the quarterback, trying to hit one of 2 guys. He had Cornthwaite out there. He also had Zeva running in the same direction, but it's going to be third down.
Big part of me thinks that he was trying to go down the middle of the field to the deeper man, but that would have been such a tough throw since he threw it almost from the hip and on the run. And still, a little bit extra oomph, that pass gets there.
And that's something that Pops talked about, too, the arm strength on these kids at 6th or 7th grade level of football. It really is amazing.
That's why we see guys like Patrick Mahomes being able to throw the ball literally 100 yards.
Right.
Because they start working on how to throw football at this age and even earlier.
Dilisio across the middle. Catch is going to be made. That is a wonderfully placed football, but more so than that, the catch from Cornthwaite was phenomenal. It's going to be a first down for Freedom.
And what a throw on the run. We talked about Patrick Mahomes. That is a Patrick Mahomes type play. He's moving to the side. He readjusts the hips. He fires sidearm into a tight window on a guy moving the other way across the field. We saw Patrick Mahomes make that play all year long. Here we take another great look at it. Just watch his eyes. He keeps him downfield. Watch how he can just flip those hips. He barely even flips them. He just kind of flips it sidearm like a shortstop throwing to first. He learned that right out of the Patrick Mahomes book, and he executed it well. And it's good to execute like the NFL MVP does.
1st and 10. They're going to pitch it right, and a tackle is going to be made quickly by the defensive front of Honor. Ethan Johnson was in there.
That's also why I love what Patrick Mahomes did this year, because you are watching a revolution in the quarterback position to a more fluid, athletic, throw from multiple platforms, multiple different angles with the arm. It's not just the classic Peyton Manning robotic 3 or 5 or 7-step drop, shuffle in the pocket, make a clean mechanical throw. The plays for that still exist, but plays like that on the run, smooth, agile, athletic, that's where the quarterback position is headed.
I also want to say, I'll say after this play, as in trouble was Dilisio, and he throws it down the field, and a nice defensive stand is going to be made by the defensive back out there. But the defensive line in this game, again, has been very impressive. I would say the general quality of defensive linemen that we've seen from the 4 teams across 2 games has been phenomenal. And I mentioned Johnson a minute ago. I would be remiss if I didn't also say Conserve Jr., who was in there on the play. Just a lot of talent along the defensive front.
Well, they're technically so much better than kids at that age used to be. Their hand placement, their different variety of moves. They just know so much more about the game than people that were growing up playing in the 70s did. They have access to all the tape of all the players in the NFL and how they try to get after the quarterback.
3rd down and 9 here for Team Freedom, and they're going to run it on 3rd down, and there's that defensive line as a flag does come flying. I would suspect that might be in the area of a hold or maybe a formational penalty, but it almost certainly will be, yep, it's formational, and it's going to be against the offensive course, and it will be declined, and it'll be 4th down. So Team Honor comes out and gets a stop to start quarter number 3.
Yeah, great example of the fundamentals is number 95, Cameron Trumra, the defensive lineman from O'Fallon, Missouri. He's got this great swim move that you haven't seen him utilize the past few times, and he just executed it perfectly. He feigned right, swim moved left, and got right by his man and made the tackle in the backfield.
So the punting team is on for Team Freedom. And the kick is away. Yeah, that's an important play made there by Canistraro. If he had let that get by, it was rolling in the direction of being a pretty big punt, actually, just with a friendly bounce. But instead, he snagged it, and it's going to be decent field position here for Team Honor from their own 35-yard line. Down 17-0. From your vantage point, from what you watched in half number 1, Lucas, what is it that needs to be better on the offensive side here for Team Honor?
Just simple execution. I think a couple of errant passes of the football. They have a few penalties they think went against them, but it's just about simple execution. Can you do the plays that you practice? And right there, that's poor execution.
Yeah, this is trouble. It's going to be a big loss. Although a flag comes flying, I think this might be a face mask.
Bailed them out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to bail it out. Yep, they're already calling it face mask on the defense. The play there was kind of a mess from the start. McThenia tried to throw a late pitch to Rode. Ball was fumbled. Rode got back on top of it and tried to run with it. Was tugged down by the face mask, and that's going to totally shift what would have been a terrible hole for Honor to be in. Instead, it'll be a 1st down and about 1st and 7, maybe 8 after that penalty.
And that's what great runners do when you try to escape out. And you're such a great runner, the defense pays a lot more attention to you, and they'll do aggressive things and wild things like grab the face mask. And you get a little bit of extra yardage, but that was poor execution. You got to be able to make that pitch accurately out in front of the running back.
Now a quick throw on 1st down. Catch is going to be made by Canistraro, but then a tackle made immediately as well. That was by Rosenmeyer, who had the interception back in half number 1.
Now McThenia with happy feet in the backfield. That defensive line for Team Freedom is really disrupting the pocket, and they're forcing McThenia to get on his back feet. And he's not comfortable in the pocket at all. Threw that throw off balance. That's why it was a little bit high. A perfect placement there, and you might get a 5 or 10 extra yard gain out of it.
2nd down and 4, following the face mask and then the short completion. I'm telling you, a massive switch in the offensive sets at this level of football. Back when I played 6th or 7th grade football, there was never this much shotgun, this much throwing, and maybe it was partially personnel. We weren't exactly the the best middle school team in the world.
I mean,
but
you didn't exactly grow up in the 70s, now, right? I mean, there was definitely shotgun around when you were playing football.
Not that it wasn't around. I'm just saying at the level, when I was playing 6th grade football, we didn't run shotgun set, and it's a testament to these kids.
Well,
I'm giving them credit,
With even the changing of the game has allowed coaches to feel the freedom to do this.
No doubt.
Because back, I think coaches wanted to do it, but if you did it in 6th grade and it didn't work, you seemed crazy.
The defensive line is there for Team Freedom on a 3rd down run. Now it's 4th down and about 5, and decision time for Team Honor.
It's just, this is about development. When you're playing at this age, it is about development. It is not about wins and losses. And, if you're going to sacrifice some short-term gain in terms of how well you play to teach kids how to work out of a shotgun, how to block an inside zone when you're starting not from a three-point stance as an offensive lineman. If you want to teach your kids all those things, that's important. And I think it's important if you're bad at it first, but you work on it and get better. It's huge for the development as you move into college football.
Big play right here, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. McThenia tried to thread the needle, if you will, in terms of throwing kind of a looping pass that he hoped would land over the defender and into the arms of his receiver, but it was batted away, and it's a turnover on downs. So it'll be back into the possession of Team Freedom, and they already lead this one 17-0.
Yeah, it feels like the game is firmly in their control. They've got a 17-point lead. Things have seemed to bounce their way when there have been bounces that have gone, and they have a lot of talent. And their quarterback play right now is just incredible. I mean, what Dilisio has been able to do at the quarterback position has been special. And compared to what we've seen on the other side, it's been solid quarterback play from Honor, but they've been disrupted by the defensive line. And the quarterback play for Freedom is what carried them to a 17-point lead. Now we're going to get to see a new gunslinger in the shotgun for Freedom.
Yeah, it's Austin Mack who's back out there playing quarterback. This is look like a pass, but it's actually backwards, so it's going to be a run, and it's a nice pickup for Eric Johnson. We mentioned earlier we have great coaches as a part of this game. Well, great coaches are always learning. USA Football makes it easy to lift your knowledge and your team. Click development and training at usafootball.com and come see what coaches are talking about. Again, click development and training at usafootball.com today.
A gain of 7 to bring up second down.
7-yard pickup for Johnson. It'll be second down for Team Freedom. And they'll run it again. It's Johnson again, and he breaks one tackle. Now he tries to change his direction, but he's going to be dragged down. It's a loss. Third down upcoming for Team Freedom.
And you have to be perfect when you're running a zone blocking scheme. That pulling guard has to get over and has to put hands on that defensive lineman to clear that hole out. Didn't get there in time, and it kind of forces your running back to the outside. And you hope his talent can carry him, but especially when you're playing on that near side of the field, you run out of space way too quickly. That if you don't get that block set and you don't hit that hole well, you're going to run out of room and you're going to get a gain just like that.
Braden Flores, by the way, was the guy that got in there first to make that stop. Here's a deep throw on third down. There's some space. Catch is going to be made, and we have a touchdown. 6 more points on the board for Team Freedom on a deep throw and connection. It was Mack that went to, I think that was Aiden Chavis that brought in that football. It was.
And this is just, this is fundamentals.
And actually, let me correct just quickly. So that was actually Braylon Noth that got that football from Orlando, Florida. Sorry, Lucas, but that's a touchdown nonetheless for Freedom.
Well, and you saw the roll out to the right, getting the feet set, stepping into your throw. That's comfortable. That's nice and easy. That's a good offensive line play, comfortable behind your offensive line. The play is designed to roll out right. Your routes are moving to the right side of the field. You step in, you read, is there a safety high? No, let me drop a dime in there, and it's perfect. And that's just great execution, and quarterback play continues to be the story in this one. That's how important this position is in this game. Because you go look up everywhere else, matchup per matchup. Sure, some great plays made by the receivers of Freedom. Offensive line, defensive line, it's all been fairly close. You can give an edge one way or the other, but the quarterback play, they played so well in this game. The Freedom quarterbacks have just done so well moving in the pocket, stepping back in the pocket, making correct reads, making great throws, powerful throws on the run. The fact that these are U14 kids out here making these type of plays, it's incredible to watch at the quarterback position.
Speaking of quarterback, it's Ratliff that's now back into the game, and he completes a pass. It's going to be for a very short game, but it's Baylor who catches that football. Those two have had a nice connection so far in this game. Going back to your point, for anyone that missed a portion of that second quarter, we talked with Pops about the quarterback position. He told us on the broadcast that is the number one tried out position that kids come out and try to play at this level, and yet they only take 2 quarterbacks per team because they want to have the very best. They want some consistency at that position because they understand the importance, and you're absolutely right, as it's going to be third down and long coming up here for Team Honor. But the quarterback play, as would be expected with the way they select, the quarterback play has been tremendous, and in particular for Team Freedom.
Well, the quarterback position is getting more and more weight, more and more importance on it across the country. I talked to a high school coach this week, and he said, I make the offense really, really easy for 10 guys and really, really hard for one, my quarterback. So if your quarterback can handle it, then your team can handle it.
There's a dangerous throw over the middle, almost a tremendous catch made by Canistraro, but it does fall incomplete amongst 3 defenders that were in there, and it's going to be 4th down again for Team Honor, and they're going to have to punt the football. I would suspect they may leave the offense out there. No, they're going to punt the football. Down 23-0 with under 3 minutes to play in this third quarter.
Waiting for their punter.
Kick is away, and it's going to be fielded around the 45-yard line of Team Honor. The sport's best work with USA Football to teach the latest in blocking and tackling. Learn, teach, and perform USA Football's contact and tackling systems for smarter and stronger play. Visit footballdevelopment.com today. That's footballdevelopment.com.
With the Ohio license plate HTJ1056, your car alarm is going off in the symphony block.
So down 23-0. Team Honor will go back on the defensive side, and we'll have an opportunity to see Team Freedom on offense once more, and it'll be Sam Dilisio that will come back out at quarterback after he watched his teammate Mack throw a touchdown pass last time out. Dilisio has the football, rolls, and that was a good throw that was dropped. It was Tyson Smith, the tight end, who was the intended target. Kind of slaps his helmet in frustration. That's not a ball that he'll drop very often. A talented pass catcher is Smith, but it's dropped this time. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
I mean, just great quarterback play. Again, you're rolling out. You see pressure in your face. You're not at the line of scrimmage yet. You take 2 sideways steps, create your own space, and dump off a pass to a guy cutting off the field. The linebacker's not even paying attention to the tight end going behind because he's worried about you about to run. That's just a smart, heady quarterback play.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I hate to keep beating the same drum, but the ability to make decisions while moving is impressive. Here's an impressive play as well. Big hole opens up, 1st down yardage and a lot more. Finally going out of bounds is the running back McClellan. We've already seen him make a couple of big plays, and he puts his name in the stat sheet once more.
Just great vision. Being able to slide across 3 blockers and then see the hole and explode upfield. That's what's so impressive about these kids, Ryan, because you can make an argument, how impressive. It is impressive, but how impressive an 8th grader that can just leap up and dunk. And we've seen kids develop early, but what makes this group so special and this group so impressive, it's beyond the athleticism. It is in the fundamentals. It is in how you play the game, with your feet, with your hands, with your eyes, with your hips. This game is so complex and complicated, and these kids are playing it at a high, high level.
Snap taken, and they're going to run with McClellan again. Look at all the blockers out in front. 1st down yardage again, but a flag does fly as McClellan ran a man over at the end of that run. But I believe this one's going to come back.
Yeah, they're going to get Aiden Chavis for holding. I don't really agree with the call. He had both hands inside the shoulder pads. Maybe was grabbing around there, but his hands did not get outside the shoulder pads. It was a mean block that he was setting the edge for. See what the call is.
I'll say this, too. We've had a lot of great individual efforts over the course of 2 games.
Well, take a look at the block here.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to see it. It's number 8 there in blue.
It might have got outside on the left shoulder pad there for a second.
Yeah, I'm with you, though. That's a pretty good block. But my point being, you can see it in that replay, we've seen a lot of great individual efforts. But on that play, the blocking, my goodness, there were blue jerseys, many of them out in front helping McClellan. But they do call that holding penalty after a long discussion.
They call a holding and then an unsportsmanlike conduct on Team Freedom.
Yeah, so that one is a backbreaker. My goodness, they're going to march this one all the way back to the 40, make that the 39-yard line of Team Honor. And it's going to be 2nd down and about 25 yards.
Well, when you're up 24, there's no reason to get mad about anything. Make an argument.
Right.
But it was a combination of making a really, really hard block, making it with intensity. That intensity led to you probably grabbing the left shoulder pad a bit, then a little controversial penalty, and probably a snide comment, and you're going to get an unsportsmanlike penalty a lot. Especially they're starting to crack down at high school level across the country in terms of respect towards officials.
Ball is fumbled on this handoff, and that means that the play goes nowhere. The tackle is made at the 45-yard line. It looks like, or it looked like, Team Freedom was going to try some trickery there, had some kind of a double reverse type of thing set up, but when the ball was fumbled, it blew up in their face. That was Eric Johnson who had to jump on the loose ball, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 30 yards to go.
3rd and 30, nothing. It's just 3 first downs stacked on top of each other.
There's quite literally nothing in your playbook for that. Doesn't mean you couldn't pick it up and get lucky, but you don't have plays you go to, other than a Hail Mary perhaps, that's designed to get 30 yards. And they're going to run it up the middle, and a pretty decent hole opens up. Someone's going to have to make a tackle. Nobody's made it yet, and finally, dragged down is Johnson at the 21-yard line. And what that did, Lucas, is that's exactly right. So, sure, they didn't pick it up, but they got 24 yards on that run from Johnson, and now they can go for it on 4th down.
Great call. Throw right up the middle. They're definitely going to throw here, right? Right? And then you've got players like Johnson that are just simply hard to bring down. Listen, if Eric Johnson was on a high school football field, he'd be hard to bring down. So when he's playing with kids his age, it becomes almost an impossible task in the open field. And that's the case for a lot of the running backs that we've seen today. They're just so hard to tackle.
So on 4th down, they've got trips left, and they're going to have a 1st down out of it. That's Banks catching the football, and he is spun out of bounds. After 1st down yardage, he got about 10 on the play, and the possession will continue here for Team Freedom.
Yeah, great little find. Easy dump off. Good route design. They're a well-coached team. They've run their routes well. You've seen that all day long. It's all the little things that have stacked up for Freedom. And then the quarterback play, which is a big thing. I don't want to call that a little thing, but the quarterback play has been the driving force, combined with being able to do the little things, good coaching calls, the draw play on a 3rd down and 30, get you to a 4th and 6th.
So it was Dilisio to Banks. Sets up this 1st down and 10 at the 11-yard line. And they're going to run it left side. And a tackle is going to be made. A very nice tackle that takes out one of the members of the team holding the sticks over there. It'll be 2nd down and long after Lowe ran that football. And that's going to be the final play of quarter number 3. So only 10 minutes to go in this one, and it continues to be all Team Freedom. They lead Team Honor 24-0. We'll step aside for a short break. You're listening to USA Football on Facebook Live.
Better athletes. We believe in developing football players in a way that makes sense for both their physical and mental development. By providing multiple entry points and options, we can ensure that each person who wants to play can start and succeed in a way that's developmentally appropriate for them. Because we believe everyone should experience the fun and enjoyment of America's game. Together, we are creating the future of football. Join us at usafootball.com/FD.
Quarter 4 begins right now from the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. as Team Freedom tries to add to their lead, and they almost did so on the first play of quarter number 4. It's a run down to about the 1-yard line. That was McClellan with the football. It'll be first down and goal for Team Freedom, already leading 24-0 in this game. What a tremendous performance from them thus far.
They've done an amazing job. It's been more credit to them than any criticism of Honor.
Yes.
They've just Honor's just had some bad luck go their way, and Freedom's just executed to perfection.
They're going to let McClellan try to cap this thing off, and he'll do just that. A touchdown run from 1 yard out, and it is 30-0 in favor of Team Freedom with 9:26 left in this football game. Extra point to come. In 2018, more than 10,000 high schools, middle schools, and youth organizations enrolled in USA Football's Heads Up football program. The nationally renowned program takes a comprehensive approach to a better, safer game, covering player safety and football fundamentals for high schools, middle schools, and youth leagues. Enroll your program at usafootball.com/headsup. Extra point was good, so it's 31-0 in favor of Team Freedom. And now for Team Honor, all they can do is get back out there and try to find some success on the offensive side.
You don't want to get shut out. You want to put together one good offensive drive, and they're certainly capable of it. They have the runners to do it. They have the throwers to do it. They have the blockers and receivers to do it. But you just have to execute on this drive. And really it's about blocking this defensive line, because Freedom has just been in the backfield constantly.
So it'll be Ratliff who is the quarterback on this drive. Takes the snap, hands the football off, and a pretty good run developing right here. One side, back to the other, and there's a lot of room. Lucas, you're right on that one. There he goes. That's Duncan. Down the sideline. He's going to beat everybody. How about the afterburners down the sideline? Touchdown. You said they wanted to score in this one. Well, how about on one play? It's a touchdown for Team Honor.
Maddox Duncan. We knew how talented he was. We talked about him in the first quarter, and he's been kind of waiting for his moment to shine. And these cutback reverse runs have been really effective today, especially with guys like Duncan with this type of breakaway speed. He starts left, gets dragged down, and immediately bails out, and now it's just about speed. You see that huge block on the back end there from number 17, Zane Zabinski, and then it's just speed from there. I mean, there's not much color analysis for me to do other than go, hey, that guy's pretty fast.
Yep. A little bit of speed. Extra point is up, and it is good. So 7 on the board for Team Honor.
But every time we see one of those big runs, there's always a block.
Always. Every time.
Always. Yep. 100% all the time, and it's usually by a wide receiver. And it's usually of like the peel back variety. And that block actually by Sabinski, I think, would have been a penalty in Ohio High School Athletic Association, but that hasn't been a nationally instituted rule all across the country as of yet. So certain high school associations are starting to take away that peel back block that allows big runs like that. It's a safety thing. Some say that you should have your hands open, or that the runner should be, the blocker, the guy you're trying to block should be looking at you. But you see blocks like that at the college level, at the professional level, open up giant runs all the time. And the way you get blocks like that, if you're a coach, how do I get this out of my team? It's energy, effort, passion for what you're doing. And if you have energy, effort, and passion for what you're doing, even if your receiver not getting the ball, you're committed to making a good block on the play.
Team Freedom will take over, and now they will run it right side. And the defense meets the ball carrier Johnson for a loss of a couple of yards. We were talking about speed a moment ago for Duncan. What I'd like to see before the end of today, somebody set this up for me. Let's put Duncan, let's put Brian Searcy, let's put Grayson Robinson at one goal line and race those 3 guys. I'm sure in the later game we'll have a couple of speedsters as well. But we've seen, of course, all these kids are extremely athletic, but we've seen a few, Duncan included, that can just fly out here today.
I think the best is yet to be seen. I think our final matchup of the game, which is going to be kids preparing to go into high school, they're a little more grown. They're just older, so they're going to be more athletic, and that'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Here's Mack scrambling. Great move. And he's going to pick up a first down, and finally he'll be ushered out of bounds. Getting close to midfield. He'll be at the 43-yard line. Shifty running from Mack, the quarterback, for a first down.
You know who Mack reminds me of? That looked like Terrell Pryor.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's the long strides. Is he actually running? Kind of running, where he's actually running really fast. And it's because of the long strides. It's the smooth running motion. It's ability to stop on a dime. You saw that shifty juke. That's the type of juke Pryor would make all the time when he was running loose at Ohio State.
You know who I was going to say, and I agree with what you said, but I was going to say Cam Newton a little bit too in the way that he runs. Kind of the same motion. Doesn't look like he's running hard, but he is. He's hard to catch. As there's a run again for Team Freedom. It's low with the football, and he gains a couple of yards.
Yeah, Newton a little more. I don't know. I don't want to say powerful. That he doesn't run powerfully. It's Newton. It almost looks like it's supposed to be happening. And Terrell Pryor looked extremely athletic in his day. But when he was running, I remember a great play when he was a quarterback for the Raiders against the Steelers. He had a 95-yard touchdown run as a quarterback, and he's running. And if you just took a frame by frame and video Terrell Pryor running, and then video Troy Polamalu trying to run him down, you would think Polamalu is running twice the speed. But then when you watch on the field, Pryor ends up 30 yards ahead of Polamalu because of the stride length and the power he has every time he explodes.
Another handoff and some more tremendous juking, and he's still going to keep moving the legs. That's low with the football, and it's going to be enough for a first down. The shiftiness of some of these backs is really noteworthy in this one, and again, the sticks will be moved for Team Freedom.
The quickness of their eyes, too, to be able to see defenders coming from multiple directions. It's awesome to watch. There will be NFL players playing in this game right now. I would bet some sort of item on that for sure. And especially in all three of the games, I guarantee we're going to have a few NFL guys come out of this bunch.
And the history supports that, absolutely.
But just watching it.
Yes, I'm with you.
Now, when you see one kid that's an 8th grader, you can make the decision of, he's going to be in the NFL, and you could be very wrong because he could not grow. Certain things can happen, and it can become difficult. But when you have this many kids that are this good, some of them are going to end up at that place because all of those kids that ended up in the NFL, they all were this good at this age. So they're obviously potentially NFL college-level players. At this age, there's still a lot that has to happen for all these kids, and none of these kids are a shoo-in. But, hey, if you're going to be anywhere looking at an NFL future at the age 14, you want to be on this field right now.
The defensive play that was just made a moment ago was tremendous. It was Brian Ellington that got in to make a stop, as well as Edgar Prunskis. 4-yard loss, so 2nd down and 14 for Freedom. We are nearing the midway point of this 4th quarter, so it's flying by as both teams have been content to run the ball. Of course, Honor scored on their one run, but as I say that, there's going to be a pass. It's a deep pass, and the receiver is open. It's a bit underthrown, but a great catch is going to be made again. 2nd catch of the ball game for Braylon Noth, and it's going to be a first down, nearly 1st and goal for Team Freedom.
Great throw. Little underthrown, you're right, but that's a tough throw. He's throwing it back across the field. But it's really about the catch. I mean, he's throwing to the deep side, outside the numbers. And look at this catch. Ugh. See, those hands getting up late is so crucial.
Yep.
Because a lot of guys have the instinct, get those hands in the air and wait for the ball. That just tips the DB. And these guys have done so well today of waiting for that ball to get as close as it possibly can and then reaching up and snagging it. And being able to turn the body last second, keeping your eyes on the football, being able to move full sprint down the field and turn your body as you catch, those are all really hard things to do. That catch right there, there are high school kids across the country that are going to be yelled at by coaches not being able to make that play.
Here's a defensive stand, as it was Team Honor that loaded the line of scrimmage and then easily made a play in the backfield on McClellan. So it'll be a loss, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 15 here for Team Freedom. But again, we're down to only about 4 minutes left in this game, and it's a 24-point lead for Team Freedom.
You know, some people listening to us can think that we're being dramatic, but we're honestly not. They are this good. I mean, that is the one thing I think that I've taken out of these first 2 games is they are without a doubt as good as the hype suggests. This is a national championship type of rosters.
Left side run for Eric Johnson, and he gets close to the original line of scrimmage. Third down coming up.
Johnson with the carry.
And now we have a player down.
Tackled by Prunskis.
USA Football First Down introduces kids and parents to the game of football in a fun, free, and friendly format. Kids get active and learn the basics like running, jumping, passing, and catching through hundreds of events across the country hosted by USA Football and community organizations. Kids will experience football for the first time. First Down brings football to everyone and starts them on the player pathway in the football development model. Learn more at usafootball.com/firstdown. As a reminder, we will have a third game broadcast live right here on Facebook Live beginning at 3 o'clock as Darren Doucette is up for team honor and he's walking off under his own powers, so thank goodness there. Hopefully that young man is okay. But again, we will have that game. Lucas and I will be back to broadcast that one beginning at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're hoping that there was a little bit of rain in the forecast for this afternoon here in Northeast Ohio.
Don't speak of it.
Yeah, you're right. Very low chance, though. It's not, it's not like it's impending or that it's going to happen. So hopefully it stays away. There are some clouds, but nothing too bad yet. As there's a run right side, nice stiff arm, another stiff arm used, and then dropped is Johnson. It'll be just short of that first down marker.
We're in the state of Ohio. There is no such thing as low chance of rain. There is a lesser chance than normal for a random pop-up storm to ruin your day.
I got to tell you, though, I always hear people in Ohio say that, but I think a lot of people around the country feel like their city is that way.
Yeah, well, especially in the Midwest.
Yeah, Midwest for sure. I mean, I grew up in Colorado, and we all feel that way, too, about the weather in Colorado. So.
Yeah, but y'all got mountains and stuff.
We have a lot of different climates there, that's for certain. Field goal attempt here. Friedman kicks it up and kicks it right through. That young man is a talented young kicker. I think he's been perfect through this game. In fact, I know that he's been perfect through this game, and it's 34-7 now in favor of Team Freedom.
They've been very good. They've executed well. Not much else to say other than that. We've commented on the quarterback play. We've commented on the receiver play. Their line play has been great. They've executed well. And it's just Honor had a few bounces not go their way, and they haven't executed. And that's the beautiful thing about this sport is you practice all week to play one game, and it's all about what am I going to do in this one moment. That's all this game is about. And can you execute in that moment? And today, Freedom has done the execution while Honor has not.
One more chance here for Team Honor. Run a reverse here. Are they looking to throw out of it? Nope, it's going to be a run all the way. A lot of green space to run on. First down yardage, and then finally the tackle is made, but not before Cuseno picks up about 15 yards. First down, Team Honor.
Yeah, good late pursuit there at the end of the play. Brock Nobles, the defensive lineman out of Georgia, following up, making a tackle. That's a big play. Can't give up on anything, especially with the way these guys have run and been cutting back all day. How many of these reverse touchdowns could have been stopped if a defensive lineman put a little extra effort in trying to make a secondary tackle?
Ratliff, quick throw is going to be incomplete. Defensive play made by Erin Banks, batting that football away.
Got to lay out for that. Good dive would have had that.
Brings up second down and 10.
USA Football's 2019 National Conference with speaker tracks for high school and youth football coaches delivers insight to lift your program. Hear college and NFL coaches, leaders in athlete health, and other experts in Orlando from February 22nd to 24th. Early bird rates are open at usafootball.com. That's usafootball.com.
Road with the carry.
Final few plays of this game. are coming up now. It will be Team Freedom that wins the football game. And at the conclusion, we will have a player of the game for both sides. And we will present those to you before we wrap up our broadcast, of course. Ratliff looking to throw over the middle. Just overshot his target there. He was looking for Senyo again.
Yeah, Ratliff, happy feet. You saw him kind of turn his shoulders as the pressure came and just use his wrist. And he's got a real strong arm. That's why he's able to make that throw, and he feels like he can. Because he whipped it 25 yards downfield, off balance, falling backwards just with the wrist flick. But nice step into your throw there. That throw is going to be lower, it's going to be harder, and you're going to be able to lead your receiver better. Because that, with the way the receiver's open, I mean, that should be a 30, 40-yard pickup.
4th down for Team Honor. This may be their last offensive play of the game if they can't pick up the first. Ratliff throws one deep. He's got a man, but it's going to be overthrown. Breaking free was Baylor. By the way, if I haven't said it yet, Baylor has impressed me a great deal so far in this one, but that time he couldn't catch up to it. It's a turnover on downs, and Team Freedom will have the football.
I am really proud of Ratliff by stepping in that throw there. You know the coaches were saying that from the sideline. Step into your throw. He did it there, overthrew a bit, but that was a great ball. Came out of his hands well. You know, the receiver a little bit faster, a little bit older. That's a perfect throw. So I'm glad we saw him adjust before his last time on the field because he's an extremely talented quarterback. He can really throw the rock.
Well, and it probably goes without saying, but the quarterback-receiver relationship is so critical. And when you play with a guy or an assortment of receivers as a quarterback, if you play with them a whole season or multiple seasons, that throw might have been on target because you know your receivers.
You know how fast he is.
Exactly. And here you've known these guys maybe 4 or 5 days. Not to make excuses, but it really is a critical part of the offensive game. It's hard for a quarterback.
No, it's not an excuse. It's a reason. Right? You don't make excuses. You give reasons for why things happen, and you try to do better moving forward. But that's definitely a reason for why some passes will go incomplete, some passes will go awry. That's why some guys don't like to throw at the NFL Draft Combine. They much prefer to throw at their pro day with receivers they're comfortable with.
Team Freedom's going to take a couple of knees, and this ball game will be over. And Team Freedom has just, there they go again. They get their head coach twice with the Gatorade.
Love to see Coach Denham getting that treatment.
I bet that feels good, actually. He's going to act like it bothers him, but I bet it feels good on a hot day like today.
It feels good for about 12 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it immediately feels horrible.
Well, it's well-deserved, to say the least, as
they coached a great game.
Yes.
Much credit to David Denham, the head coach of this Freedom squad from the University of Indianapolis. They coached a really good game. But the rest of that coaching staff, Daryl Hughes, Tyron Young, Brad Wilson, Adam Schrack, Brian Watson, Ryan Stokes, all of them. This team was really prepared to play today. They had a lot of creative play calls, smart play calls. Great execution from everybody wearing blue. Honor, not so great in terms of execution, but a lot of great talent on that side of the football. You saw how well they played at times and some of the great plays they made in this game. Excited to see where all these kids end up in the future. I'll be definitely keeping the rosters from these games to see where all these guys are in about 5 or 6 years.
Final score in our second game of today's bowl series is Team Freedom 34, Team Honor 7. So we've now had Team Courage and Team Freedom as victors, and we still have Stars and Stripes left to play in our third game. We'll keep it here for the moment as the two sides, you can see them, they are lined up and ready to honor a couple of players as players of the game. We do one from each side. So for the Freedom team, Lucas, the MVP of this one's going to be Erin Banks, the wide receiver from Denver, Colorado, from my home city. How about that? Erin Banks, phenomenal ability as a young wide receiver.
2 catches in this game that belong on some sort of highlight reel. High pointing the football. He's a big body, good hands, and you can see that he can just track the ball when it's in the air. I mean, he really did remind me of an A.J. Green, Julio Jones type. If you watch their tape when they're eighth grade, when they're in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, that natural size, athleticism, and hand-eye coordination, it's a great combination to have as a wide receiver.
The other player of the game on the side of Team Honor is defensive lineman Jacob Dickerson. And that also, by the way, is a well-deserved honor. We've talked at great length over 2 games today about how good the defensive lines have been, and Dickerson was a big part of most, or at least many, of the plays that were made in the backfield in this game.
Yeah, he was a part of it. And Honor, that was probably their strongest unit, was that defensive line. So I think that the MVP coming from there makes a lot of sense. And it's without a doubt deserved by Dickerson, another talented player. Got some meat to add to the bones if he wants to continue to play the defensive line as he moves through the next 4 years. But that's the thing about being his age, is all that's going to come is muscle and weight over the next 4 or 5 years. So it'll be interesting to see how he develops.
Well, we say congrats to Erin Banks. We also say congrats to Jacob Dickerson, the 2 players of the game. And, of course, we have to say congrats to the winner of this football game. It's Team Freedom that takes down Team Honor by a final score of 34-7. We're going to step aside, and we'll be gone for about an hour. And then we will be ready to start our 3rd broadcast. As a reminder, it'll be Stars against Stripes in our U15 conclusion to today's Bowl series. So make sure you join us right here on Facebook Live when we get into game number 3 at 3 o'clock Eastern Time right here in Canton, Ohio. But again, just to repeat the final score in this one, it is Team Freedom 34, Team Honor 7. Now for Lucas Moore, I'm Ryan Boyd signing off on our Game 2 broadcast. You've been listening to USA Football on Facebook Live.